Youth homelessness in Waterloo Region is a serious issue. While the exact number of youth experiencing homelessness in Waterloo Region is unknown, as many will stay with friends, relatives, in abandoned buildings, cars, or outdoors. As such, they are hidden and cannot be accurately captured. Data from emergency shelters is typically used to determine the prevalence rate of youth experiencing homelessness. In 2010, over 800 unaccompanied youth between the ages of 12 and 25 years stayed in emergency shelters across Waterloo Region. That would be enough youth to fill about 4 average-sized movie theaters.
In my experience as a police officer, both as a patrol officer and as a community resource officer within Cambridge, to paint all youth who are homeless as criminals is just not true.
Well, I grew up in Toronto, and I remember very vividly some of my experiences. I was in foster care for a number of years as a child. It certainly was a time period for me which was challenging, and I think it made me feel very vulnerable at the time. And I was always interested in politics, followed Toronto politics, federal and provincial, for quite a long time, and ended up here in Cambridge and eventually got involved in the political scene here.
My name is Tina. I arrived at Argus Residence for Youth, the girls' home, in May of 2005. I had become homeless. While living at Argus, I managed to attend all my classes and received an entrance into the new semester at the college. I obtained work and eventually found my own place to call home.
When I was 16, I had to leave my house, and unfortunately at that time I was homeless, and I still wanted to be in school, still wanted to maintain my high school education, so I have felt the need to access social services at that time through Argus Housing. And once I found employment, I managed to maintain employment in that same field to currently today.
I'm often asked the question by curious family and friends, what are the youth like that you work with in the shelter? I can tell you that these youth are just like any other teenagers. They have goals and aspirations, they have their own ideas and opinions. But I think what sets them apart from other youth is that they have experienced a lack of support, often abuse, rejection, and abandonment. Yet, despite these challenges, the majority of young people we serve are achieving for themselves on a significant level. For example, with the same time period, 94% of youth develop productive activity plans for themselves relating to school, employment, or their health.
Recent reports have shown that there is a rise in the number of hate crimes committed against those who lack adequate housing here in Canada and abroad, as those without shelter are invariably more vulnerable than those who are housed. This bias and hatred is rooted in the perception and myths that youths who experience homelessness are somehow different or other. By dispelling these myths about youth who experience homelessness, we not only educate and enlighten ourselves and our neighbors and our community, we also help to reduce stigmas experienced by these youth as we aim to reduce and prevent bias-based or hate crimes against these young and vulnerable individuals.